What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. I drove over an hour to get here this morning. We are at this historic building in downtown Brooklyn that now contains the restaurant Gage and Tollner. We have two neglected AO Smith Cyclone water heaters. We got demo work all around us. And she ain't heating like she used to. The owner's plumber condemned both water heaters. They're only 6 years old and said, there's nothing I can do. They got to be replaced. Hogwash! All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. Two AO Smith Cyclone BTH 199-300s. There's one with its own ST12 expansion tank for domestic potable water. Here's the second. Full disclosure. Yeah, we got some sheetrock dust. We got some sheetrock dust on the floor. Now, my biggest concern is the demolition of the buildings that surround this historic building, and I'm worried that they're dirty. I think that the burners are dirty. I think the combustion chamber needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to show you guys step by step how we take these apart using the maintenance manual for the series. What do I got here? Series 300. Now, check out the serial number. Ends in 7807. 7808. Tell me that's not awesome. I always say a good technician is observant of his surroundings. Let's take a look at the condition of this vent connector, which also goes to our condensate removal. It is a condensing water heater. We have two condensate neutralizers right there that look like homemade bad boys right there. It's all good. It's got to replace the neutralizing media and on an annual basis or as needed. This one looks significantly better than the other one. A lot of debris at the bottom there. I wonder what that's going to look like. So we're going to start by taking off the shroud off the shroud off the top of the unit, and I'll show you step by step how we service these. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. I'm going to take my 1/4-inch driver. I'm going to remove the screw on the top right and also top left, and remove the remove the yellow shroud above the control bezel. All right, now I'm just going to do a visual inspection, make sure we don't have any leaks, any rust, corrosion on anything. If we do, I'm going to make note of that. I'm going to move my light that I put up there. And now we're going to shut down the units. We're going to turn the system to disabled. We're going to turn off power. And then we're going to turn off our gas supply. Perfect. Looks like someone left their digital manometer tubing up here. Okay, this is our domestic hot water outlet right on the top. This is our control module. And we have pressure switches, our gas valve, and our blower assembly. And that's connected to 3-inch PVC, which then vents outside. And I already went out to the roof and checked that out, and it's legit. We have good separation. Okay. This is our power connection to our gas valve. That is our pressure switch tubing to the gas supply. We have our igniter, flame sensing wire, ground. And then we have our communication and power wire going to our blower assembly. So we're going to pull the burners out of here. Pull the burner out of here. We're going to disconnect our wiring. And we're going to see what she looks like in there and replace gaskets and do a nice thorough cleaning. All right, before we get started, let's take a look at the current settings and conditions. We have a tank temperature of 136 degrees with an operating set point of 140, and right now we are in standby status. Our temperatures, take a look at all these numbers. 140, differential set for 5, tank temperature is 136. Heater status, right now it's in standby status. Our ECO is closed, low gas pressure switch is closed, the blocked inlet and outlet pressure switches are both closed. Igniter, nothing there. Gas valve is on, no. That's all normal. Let's check out our anode current, 39.5 milliamps with a voltage of 3.11 volts. And the dry voltage, 4.21. Continuing on, let's go to fault history. And this one is showing no faults. Nothing here. Now, that is kind of rare, but there's nothing showing in the fault history of this unit. That one just fired up, and it sounded a little bit abnormal, but we'll work on that one next. No fault history. Interesting. 2 ignition failures. We had a low gas pressure, 3185 times, 3,185 times, blocked exhaust 122, and that is, we had a CCB hardware failure. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary there. Okay, let's start the cleaning process. All right, I loosened up both bands on the Fernco connection with a vent connector with a 5/16 driver. And disconnected the union with a wrench, removed the wires from our gas pressure switch, and used a small Phillips screwdriver to remove the screw holding the wiring harness to our gas control valve. We're going to pull the ignition cable, pull the flame sensing cable, and now we're going to remove the screws that are going to hold this whole blower and gas valve assembly to the top of the water heater. All right, using a half-inch socket, I'm going to remove the bolts from the top of the burner assembly. I used a smaller, not a deep socket, half-inch for the ones in the back. And don't be surprised if the actual stud comes out as well. That's okay. It has a little Allen key right there, and you can put that back in easily. Don't lose any of these. You're gonna need them. So put those off to the side. You don't want them especially to fall inside the pit, which is the combustion chamber passageway, flue passageway. You don't want it to fall in there, trust me. All right, I don't know how much of this process you're gonna be able to see on camera. I'm gonna try to show you guys anyway. Remove that washer for the ground. Okay. I did forget the pressure switch in the back. Sorry, I forgot the line voltage connection in the back. Let's grab the burner, the blower, and the gas valve. Let me show you what this bad boy looks like. Not as bad as I expected, but nonetheless, if you think you're going to have a good spark and ignition with the condition of those igniter rods, you're sadly mistaken. We're going to make it look as good as new. Carefully remove it's never been it's never been serviced before. That is clear as day. All right, we're going to move the flame rod and the igniters. You know what? For 6 years of use, and 2 of those years was COVID, so the place was closed. So 4 years of use with no maintenance, I'm not surprised. But if you wonder why you may have problems with your equipment and you don't service it, well, when you drive your car without changing the oil and the engine blows up on you, don't yell at the mechanic saying why. Don't neglect your equipment. All right, next let's take the flame sensing rod out. See what that guy's look like. Man, it's a long screw. Like, they didn't really need to be that long. And she's a little warped there. See that? Not to mention the fact she's covered in oxidation and cocky. All right, I removed the 4 Allen bolts that hold the gas blower to the burner. Take a look at that burner. Yeah. Is she dirty? Wow. Is she dirty? We're going to use some compressed air to blow this out. All right, using a fine wire brush, I scraped cleaned both sides of the burner plate and the sight glass. I really can't see much of the sight glass, so I'm debating on whether or not to replace it. Yeah, we may replace it. But we're going to put new gaskets on here and put this back together. You also use the wire brush on the top of the steel there, but not much of a positive result, but it is clean now. All right, I popped out the sight glass and I'm just scraping away the insulation between the glass and the steel plate. And then I will use my wire brush and clean that out. All right, now it gets a little tricky because I need to hold the plate, because if I put it down on the ground, the plate falls through. So, and then I need to attach the blower. So it may be best to have 2 guys doing this. The new sight glass is in there. I can see through it now. It's beautiful. I got to put that little red silicone, high temperature silicone gasket on top of the washer, put that new gasket in place, and then bolt her down. I am quite resourceful. Come on, baby. Get in there. Using my knee. Let's get to the other side. There we go. And I got 1 more left. Let's reposition myself here. Come on, baby. Come on. There you go. And if you can't get it in finger tight, something's not lined up right. Okay. We good. Now, let me get that Allen key and tighten these up a little bit, and then tighten them up like I'm putting on a car tire. You know, every other one. Beautiful. All right, I have the new ignition rods in place and the flame sensing rod. Some numbers that you need to know. There needs to be a gap of 1/8 of an inch between the 2 spark igniters. And between the spark igniters and the actual burner itself, you need to be 5/16 of an inch. Now the flame sensor, you're going to be there it is. Flame sensor, you're going to be a 1/2 inch gap from the burner. Okay, we're dead on. And this is for the models 120 to 250. If you have a 300, or I think in the 500, it's different. The flame sensor gap is 13/16 of a gap, the flame sensor, and the other gaps are the same. So 5/16 from the mesh, 1/8 of an inch between the two, and avoid touching it with your fingers, the oils. Now my fingers are all dirtied up from all this stuff, but try to avoid touching the rods with your fingers. The oils in the fingers will not cooperate with the metal. So the new gasket is in place. Now we're going to take a look at the combustion chamber tube. All right, so I'm going to remove that steel plate. Put that off to the side, don't lose it. Let's take a look inside. Not terrible. No, we can use a good brushing. I'm going to brush this down, maybe some simple green, clean that off, and we're also going to replace the gasket. All right, now for cleaning, some of you who are doing boilers, this may look familiar to you. This is a boiler brush, and we're going to get all the way down there. Once I have it brushed clean, I'm going to spray it down with some simple green and then rinse it with some water. All right, so I've been scrubbing this. Sorry, the lighting is not the best here. I've been scrubbing this down for about 15 minutes, and I'm not gonna be able to get a lot of it back to factory new like it is right there. It's taking forever. Like that little bit of blue, the enamel, the glass coating, that took quite some time. But if you had like half a day or a day, you could probably get this thing 100% clean. But we're going to let this soak in for a hot minute, and we're going to spray it down with some water. And don't worry, it's going down to the condensate line, and then go through our neutralizer and out to our drain. All right, using a small laundry hose, I hooked it up and I soaked down and rinsed the inside of the flue passageway, the combustion chamber. This is also a good time where the condensate drain will prove it's not clogged. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, about the water in there. Remember, this is a condensing water heater. Condensate liquid forms during the combustion process. All right, what do you think goes in here? So don't worry about it. All right, let's see, make sure she's flowing good. Of course it's clogged. Oh yeah, it's really clogged. Yep. Yeah, they said they've been cleaning this thing out every 6 months. I guess that's a lie. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get this on camera. Yeah, but don't worry, we just cleaned it out. Wow. Let's see. Oh man. Oh yeah, she's clogged, all right. All right, let's put that back on there for now. See if we can thread the. Let's see. It's gonna get a little messy here, but it's a little messy. How bad could it be? How bad could it be? Yeah, could be pretty goddamn bad, actually. Damn. Damn. This thing is clogged up. Damn. All right. Let's use a little bit of what we have to our advantage here. We have some water. So let's clean the cap out. Okay. So that's clean. Now, we have a lot of crap in here. Let's see if I could screw this back on for now. Okay. Let's take off our drain plug. Let's see if I could. I don't think this is gonna work, but let's just try what happens. Looks like I'm gonna have to disconnect the disassembly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this apart. Let's see. More cocky. I do have a floor drain here, so I'm not too concerned. I gotta take off the vent. Found it? All right, let me get that. All right, let's put the new gasket in place. Okay, let's get the burner assembly. All right, all my ground wires are connected. The flame sensing rod wire is connected. The new ignition cable from the ignition transformer to our ignition rods are connected. Communication, power to gas valve. Gas is on. I leak checked the union for any gas leaks and the other fittings that I disturbed. The gas pressure switch wiring is reconnected. Time to fire up. It's showing the road. A little longer than expected. Started at around 7:30, 7:40. It's almost 2 hours. I'm gonna do a pre-purge. My condensate trap and vent T is reconnected. Right now it's in pre-purge. Ignition. Gas valve is on. Interpurge. Stand by. Pre-purge. Gas is on. Pressure switch. Tubing. We should be firing up. Igniter, yes. Let's see if it detects flame. Gas valve on. Flame detected. No. So we're not getting flame detection. I don't hear the thing ticking. No, there's nothing going on in there. I got the gas off. I'm not hearing anything out of this thing. Alright, we get a good spark there. Something's going on in there. No gas pressure. It would help if I turn the gas on. Let's try that again. Alright, we're at pre-purge. Ignition. Gas valve open. Gas valve's on. And the flame, the heating. Anything like that, it was on all right. Bad boy heat up. We have a tank temperature of 129 degrees. Operating set point of 140. Nice flame through our nice new sight glass. Looks like the surface of the sun. Sometimes you gotta double check and triple check your work. All right, I'm now working on the second water heater, the one on the left in the corner. And this one is pretty bad. All right, so I'm outside by the truck. I ran out of compressed air, so I'm gonna use my Milwaukee M18 blower. I have the HD 12.0 battery on it, so a little extra oomph on it. It's like there's a rock in there, like the demo. The demo that they're doing there really is quite evident. So I'm gonna use my blower and we'll see how much dirt comes out of this thing. Hopefully the camera can catch it. Yeah. Wow. This thing is filthy. Stuck in there, and you could still hear it. Just fell out. My God, it's like so much like cocky in here. It's crazy. I don't know. Kind of use the brush. Yeah. Oh, it is cleaning. God. My God. This is insane. units have been fully serviced. Combustion chambers have been cleaned. Gas burners have been blown out. And we are running. Let's try something here. I'm gonna fire it up. I want you guys to hear the sound it makes at ignition. And in case you're wondering, that's actually to clean out the tank, the domestic side of the tank, so don't open that. All right, it is 1:45 in the afternoon. It's been a while since I did that, by the way. It's been a while since I had a little hand truck and my plumbing tools in my tool bag, all on the hand truck. Walking blocks in the city, going up service elevators. I got you.